Hello and welcome to part 6 of my Night Titan guide. It's extremely hot outside. I want to go on my bike. I'll go on my bike in a little while. We left part 5 with me about to finish up like the main body. I had dry brushed all the metallic parts with the Necron compound. And it was just a little bit of finishing up to do. So what I did is I highlighted the stubber there, highlighted the feet, put some gold on the feet, did the gold shield, and that's pretty much the main body done. There's nothing more that I'll do for that, which is great because for a model with such a large kind of surface area in a way, it's very quick and easy to do it. Before I put any of the armour plates on, there's still one final touch I need to do, which is pick out every single rivet with mithril silver. And as always, I've got my other Night Titan close by, so I can reference and see, you know, which parts I did actually paint. So that's always useful. Again, I've got a computer there. I can just load up a picture of Night Titans too. So the body is pretty much finished except for the rivets and of course the base. So put that to one side. What I then did is, still all the parts are separate and they're still movable. I then concentrated on the arms, or the guns, the weapons themselves. Gold and the rivets on this whole arm. It's still movable. I haven't glued it or anything. I don't know whether I will or not for this one, but I kind of want the arm to be glued on, as it were, and in one position. So I'll have a think about that closer to the time. That was that arm, weapon arm finished. I did the purity seals as well, and this is this weapon arm finish with the highlighting on the chainsaw. Again, this one can move about and all the rest of it. So I'm still deciding on whether to properly glue. The other model is completely glued, so I might go with that, but we'll see. Gold, in case you're wondering, I use a few steps. The first step I use, well, obviously it's sprayed black. If it's not, I'll paint the base coat of Abaddon black on it. Then Balthazar gold, let that dry. Then have a base paint of Gehenna's gold. Then I will wash it with Agrax Earthshade, which is what the shoulder pads, which stage the shoulder pads are at the moment. They've just been washed brown. Then to really make the gold pop, like it has there, I'll then go highlight all of the edges with the Auric Armour Gold. And to make it pop even more, I'll then paint the rivets, the mithril silver. So there's quite a few different layers and stages that are going on there that really make the gold pop. But that just works for me. Other people, they might just do a base coat of Gehenna and then you know, highlight it, dry brush it with, which is the Griffin, Golden Griffin. So this is just what works for me. And likewise, I've already done quite a few of the armour pieces. They're really easy as a separate like little project. Just not make sure the gold doesn't spill over the actual armour plate itself. But you've got the gold, then you've got it washed brown, and then highlighted with the Auric, and then painted the rivets in mithril. And it really pops out. Just make sure you don't forget any of the edges. And likewise, I've got the little armour piece there. Don't know if you can see that, but that's been highlighted in the Auric gold. And the white of the horses, it's odd. I'm white and yellow, quite tricky for me to paint, and maybe other people have the same kind of problems. But the way I do it is, obviously if it's black, I'll paint it grey. Then I'll paint it white. I won't put another white coat on, I'll just have one white coat. Then I'll wash it black, and then I'll kind of highlight and touch over parts of it in white, just to make some parts of the white lighter than others, but yet remain it having some shadow. So I just thought I'd make that point too. I'm in this stage at the moment where I've got all these parts, they're pretty cleaned up, and what I'm going to be doing is highlighting all of the parts with the mixed Dawnstone and black in my little palette pot there, and then I'll just go straight onto Dawnstone to highlight that even more. And once I've highlighted all these, this will be the one that will take the most, because there's crack there, and then it's got all the edge highlights. These pieces aren't going to take an awful lot of time themselves. Once I've done all of that highlighting, I'll then use the Auric Armour Gold to highlight the gold, then put the mithril rivets on, and then that's all of these parts completely finished, ready to be glued on. So then this is the main thing to then finish, which does take quite a while, because again, highlighting, there's lots of little areas to highlight and there's a lot of rivets there, and you can see how messy I am in terms of going over. So as you can see, but it's getting there. We're nearly at the end of these videos. This will be the last video, I think I said before. So in the next clip you'll see all of these pieces finished, and this top piece finished, and the main body finished and ready to do the base. So we're on the final step, and then after the base I'll show you it completely glued and the finished model. Okay, so I've completed all of the little extras, like the armor plates. Everything's done. The arms, all the little armor pieces, the helmet or head shield, whatever you want to call it. Even the main body is completely finished now. Every single rivet, I don't know if you can see, has been highlighted with mithril. The feet are completely done. What I would do is now glue everything on, but instead I'm going to do the base. Usually I like to do my bases as the very last thing, but in this case, because the model, once it's got all the armour pieces on and things, it's a bit tricky to hold and to manoeuvre. So while it's in this stage with nothing on it, I'll now do the base. And all I do is I'll paint one layer of Steel Legion drab. I might paint 2 layers on the side of the base. I may even put 2 layers on the actual base itself. Then I'll wait for that to completely dry, and then with a dry brush I'll highlight this Ubshabti bone. Before I would wash or ink the Steel Legion with brown, but what I've decided to do is just dry brush Ubshabti straight away, and it's a very, very light brushing, and then I'd glue the grass pieces on. As you can see on my previous model, that's basically how I'm doing my bases. With models after the Reaver Titan, you're going to see me change my basing as well, and also for my orcs. My most recent orcs, I'll be going for the desert base with my orcs, but my Tyranids that I've started, I'll be doing a snowy base. I want them orange, black, and with a snowy base. I think that's going to be a quite a nice contrast. Orange for obvious reasons. But anyway, that's to come in future Warhammer Wednesday videos. So now I'll get cracking with the base. Once I've finished, while that first coat is drying, I'd use quite a large brush for that. You could even use your large dry brush to do the base. While that's drying, I'll then finish this top carapace armour. I've done the hatch colour lens. Essentially it's just one coat of blue and then lighter shades towards the bottom edge, then washed with blue, Asian blue, whatever it's called, a little dot of white, and then finally some varnish on the top as well to make it shine a bit. So that's how I do my lenses or my gemstones or whatever. So this just needs finishing up with the black, then highlighting both the gold trim and all the little edges, and then finally dabs of mithril for all the rivets and highlighting on some of the metal areas. But then that's the top carapace done, and then it's pretty much finished. So in the next part you'll see this completely finished and the base completely finished, ready for me to assemble and glue all the parts. So join me then. Okay then, welcome back. Before I had all of the pieces completely done, they're all finished. As you can see, hopefully you can see, it might be better if I just kind of zoom in on that when it catches the light. So yeah, so all the pieces are individually complete there, and torso, the Night Titan's finished. It's up to you if you want to leave the shield off and leave the stubber gun off. It's really up to you if you want to paint them separate, but everything else I've kind of left off. I've just now finished the base, so if you see any splodges of white, that's just the the PVA glue that I've used to stick down the little vegetation. And yes, I know the vegetation has sticky back, but the PVA is just to keep it on there a bit more, just in case it rubs against another model or whatnot. So there's not an awful lot of rocks and things, and I've gone for a kind of darker kind of tone for the base compared to my other Night Titan. But needless to say, finished. Every single rivet is pops out now. If you looked at it a bit more closely. I've also just now finished the top armour carapace, which I really love. I love how the lens there shines, a bit of varnish, all the rivets pop out, and the highlighting. I think it'll look really excellent on the model when I finish and put it on there. So now really the last stage, which is the fun piece, is to glue it in place. I'm still undecided whether to glue the arms on completely. Join me in a few moments where you'll see the Night Titan completely glued and assembled. And here we are with the finished product, the finished Imperial Night Titan. So I thought I would show you what you can achieve through this guide. Everything from taking it out of the box to the construction to painting it. I'm not the quickest painter in the world. When I do finish something that's painted, I make sure it's of my highest standard. I'm not a big one for weathering or things like that. Occasionally I'll put oil on models, on the pistons, and a little bit of marking on the feet, but I won't now then go and weather it and put scratches and things like that. I don't really do that. So yes, a lot of my models do look fresh out of the factory. Just show you some of the detail and things. When you zoom in close, you really get that detail. I will be doing a showcase video of all three of my Night Titans, and if I'm gonna bite the bullet and buy the new Night Titans, I don't know. I'm still undecided. I'm more against buying them. They're cool models, but they're the same. They're the same models as these, but just with an extra sprue and a tenner more. So and I'd rather that came out last year, but. You know, I mean, if it had been like 2 or 3 years, I probably would have dived in and bought the new models. But because it's only a year away, a year ago, I don't like to kind of promote that with GW or anything like that. Now you notice that the arms wobble a little bit, and that's because I haven't glued them. I decided not to glue them in the end, that way it gives me freedom to kind of keep them posable. Well, this one posable anyway, but most of the time I've gone for this kind of like he's got his arms down like he's striding forward, or he's just searching for a target, heavy stubber pointed the right way too. That's just the way I've gone for it. The flag is slightly blown past as well, as if he's just stopped or something like that. I'll show you the top. I'm really proud of the top. I really like the highlighting and the shine from the lens or the window of the actual doorway. The Forge World door isn't very kind of level. It's just what it is. It is what it is. Like a lot of Forge World items and things, they're not always the best. They don't always have the best cast, especially when you add in it to a plastic model already. And all of the Forge World normal resin models that I've ever bought are quite well made and fit and things like that. But so yeah, that's there you go. There's the chest and everything there. So that's what I've gone for. Same colour scheme. I was going to change it up. If I do decide to get the Night Wardens, I will not have them gold like these three. I'll have them bulk and metal, I think, and highlight them with mithril. I might have them silver and just wash them down a bit, but there you go. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a showcase of all three of these Night Titans. Once I finish the other one, I'll be starting the other one now. I haven't got that much to do. It's mainly painted, just a lot of detail and things. But at the same time as doing that, I'll be going on this Reaver Titan journey. So I'm hoping to get the other Night Titan done in the next week, and then you'll see the first in the series of the Reaver Titan videos. I know that it's been a long time coming. I know I bought the model like October, November last year, but it is what it is. Thank you for your patience. I mean, I have been bringing out or Hammer Wednesday videos when I can. This is just next to the other model I've got, the other Knight Titan Paladin. I think the gold colour scheme works well. This will be my main one, or the HQ, or whatever, Seneschal, I think that's what they call it, because of the armour plates and things. I think they work really well, even though it says House Tyrann on there. I think it works really well. I love the shield. I love the little banner at the bottom. I didn't put any gold writing on. That's purposeful. I want it to be bold. Didn't want it to be full of little bits of writing. Likewise on all the armour plates, I didn't put the only piece of gold writing I did is on there. So and I normally have them in this formation. Obviously it's battle specific, but I'll have him back, him forward to the left, and I'll have the third one there. So I think that'll be what the showcase will have. So look forward to that, because that will be the next showcase video I do. It'll have all of the 3 Knight Titans, and it will just be me talking a little bit about them, and obviously being quiet and allowing you to soak in their detail and the paint schemes. The other one will be gold as well. Anyway, thanks ever so much for joining me on this guide. I hope you found it useful. I hope you found some parts of it useful. That's what I aim to do. I aim to make a video so that you can follow it from start to finish and show you the kind of end product of what is achievable. Nowhere near the best painter in the world or anything like that. I'm okay. I've got paints, but they're not all new. I've got brushes, but again, I haven't bought brushes for ages, so I'm just a guy with some brushes and paints. I don't have an airbrush or anything like that. So that's just what you can achieve. Anyway, thanks ever so much for joining me. Thanks for watching. The Emperor Protects.